So, welcome to Rauta 20,000 subscribers celebrational video. Here we have coffee to celebrate it with, not whiskey, not booze, not beer, whatever. So, thank you all. I'll explain a little bit of the background and all when I take a little bit of a sip of this great stuff called NJ. That is a TV series reference in case you're wondering what the hell does it mean. So, Rauta started in 2017 and it's time to give a little bit of acknowledgments or say thank you to people involved. It's been already a long ride for past 7.5 years roughly, because what started in around May 2017 being technically speaking first content coming from events like Steelfest 2017 has involved a lot of people, and over the years, including of course all the artists and etc., but also people who were there to help us, found Rauta, and some of them really quickly decided to move on, and that's it. And then over the years, some other people have been part of the whole thing here. Now, even though this is mostly personalized in yours truly, meaning that I do most of the content here at home, because that's how it is. Around 3,000 videos soon, and I guess about 2,700 or so is done by me, meaning mostly the reviews most of you don't even give a shit about, which is fine, just noting. And then also a lot of different feature videos, including opinions, retrospectives, worst to best ranking videos, and early on, previously did some other videos which are no more even done, haven't been done in years. And of course, during the years, I have moved house, meaning that the early videos, say about 5 years ago, were done in a different location. Originally, my old house garage, my home gym, that was the very, very original setup where I would put my laptop on, start doing videos and talk. And I didn't have the microphone I'm using now then, even if the camera is the same. And over the years, of course, some other equipment have changed, like two beautiful lights, giving a little bit, killing a little bit of the darkness and enhancing as such the overall picture quality. But a lot of things have really been the same. I mean, the basic ways I do stuff and has not changed. Although early on I didn't do videos daily. There was no point in that, and I was just experiencing and experimenting with the channel, what to do, what not. And I will soon show you what is part of that early on stuff. And later on, when I moved to do that in my old man cave back then in the earlier house, that was a little bit different setup, not in so much different in equipment, but the backgrounds and things changed. And over the years, I think this is thanks to someone who made the idea, maybe include some background, is when I started using Metal Archive site for most of the reviews out there. And overall, small things, details have changed over the years, and I hope for the better. Now, throughout these years, there have also been a lot of requests of this and that. Maybe not that much, really, but few. And one of them has been, could you include the music in your videos? And I have always explained why I'm not going to do it, mostly for copyright reasons, and because some people don't actually like it. And it's harder to remove something that is already in a video rather than add it, meaning if you're watching this, for example, on a computer, you could just watch a video of a review and put on another tab some music to be played, or I don't know, even if you're different devices. That you can do, but you cannot remove music once it's played on the videos. So that is some of the things I decided not to include on the videos. Also, adding music on the videos is like more work for me, and because you cannot really remove it, there's very, very little gain with that. I don't, I'm not gonna lie. I don't deny it. I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to a lot of things outside, filming the videos. I'm the lazy guy editing, which you have probably noticed. I like to go these with one shot. That's part of the challenge here for me, because I like to be as honest, as genuine as I can be. So if I make some mistake, if I'm like, I'm looking for a word or whatever, you're gonna see it. It's not like I'm not gonna cut it and try to be a perfect, speaking person. It's not gonna happen. First of all, I think it's very annoying, and secondly, I think it's just waste of time. It doesn't really enhance the quality of the videos or the content or whatever. There are lots of things I've learned about you, dear audience, throughout the years. Like, first of all, I think this is very, very typical with YouTube videos, is that most of you don't even finish a video. You just want a little bit clip of this and that, figure out if a certain video is your cup of tea or not. And that goes with the interviews, get the reviews with the other videos and all. It's fine, really. I'm just saying it's kind of funny because I tend to be the one that if I find say a movie or a YouTube video about this and that, I mostly watch it. But then again, I also realize there are parts where I'm looking for some certain information within, say, a 10-minute video. I probably look at only a minute or two about it and they're like, okay, this is what I need to know and moving on. So yeah, maybe this is just a very, very human behavioral thing. What I really have learned over the years is that a lot of you people are really great. I met a lot of people around festivals and all that stuff. Some want to just say hello. Someone wants to take a selfie. Sometimes someone buys me a beer. Of course, really thankful of all that stuff. It feels good. I'm not gonna deny it. As misanthropes, we can be in the extreme metal scene, especially. But I cannot deny it feels good that people recognize and come to say hello or thank you for the content or whatever. And especially really good it feels when I'm doing an interview and the artist seems to like what we are doing. Yesterday I did one interview here in my home city and one of the guys really hugged me afterwards and shook hands and all that stuff, being thankful for all the work done and so forth. And one thing is worth mentioning is that I don't take it for granted. I know that some people don't like what I do. They dislike my personality or style, and it's fine. And nobody is supposed to be liked by everybody. But it feels, for that particular reason, it feels really good when you know that your work, your content is liked. And if I'm liked along the lines, hey, all the better. But I'm not asking you to like me, and I'm not even I'm not asking you to like the content. I hope the content is informative or entertaining or both. That's the perfect thing. And if it makes you feel good or you find some information with the reviews or interviews or whatever useful and you're as willing to share it with your friends, hey, maybe you should check out the channel, all the better. But this is not about me. This is not even about the Rauta thing. This is about content. You choose what you want, what you need, what you, want to entertain yourself with. So if you just watch one review or video, whatever video ever on Rauta channel, hey, that's better than nothing, I guess. But if you do like most of the stuff, hey, makes me happy. And it's always good when people like, hey, push a like button or share the video, comment even though. I love when people are commenting. Sometimes people go very obnoxious way and, don't really be polite. I don't care if you're like, not impolite towards me that so much, but what you people need to know that YouTube and other these kind of platforms are very keen to remove or hide when your people are using like calling names or calling people idiots or whatever, especially if you're cursing around a lot. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is civil ways go way better than being a stupid asshole. I know how easy it is to shout this and that online, being an annoying person and never get caught. But really, try figuring it out the other way. If you would be the one online and people would be talking shit to you anonymously and all, think twice how nice it would be feel. It's easy to say, yeah, I don't care, but yeah, most of us do. Even I have a really thick skin, and sometimes I'm really annoyed by people, what they say. Not necessarily towards me, but the other people, commentators and all that stuff. So I guess what I'm looking for you, from dear audience, is that be civil. You don't have to like certain albums, certain music, certain opinions, whatever, or other commentators, but don't be a douchebag. It's not that hard, really. And good manners go a long way. You can hate the whole humanity, be the biggest misanthrope on earth, and you can still be a decent human being. I guess that's the bottom line here. But to say these thanks, the list is so vast, and I'm sure that I can't remember everybody. But I am thankful Jarkko, who co-founded the channel with me and was helping around with his own internet channel Moon TV back in the days. He helped us with the equipment and knowledge and all that stuff, but metal music isn't his passion, so he decided to give it a go, like leave that both after 2 years, I think. Mintu, especially, who came with Jarkko and has edited all the interviews more or less. Always helpful, always supportive, always efficient, even though for you totally remains in shadows. You have never ever even seen a glimpse of that person, but she has done tremendous work with all the interviews, putting the, pictures and all the videos, that is, audio, everything in place and making them look good as humanly possible with the given gear, which hasn't really always been that good, but yeah, things have been improving. Of course, I'm really thankful also Arto, my main cameraman. Before Arto, Mintu took some of the stuff, the video, like 2017, and Jarkko also took some of part, but Arto joined quite early on, maybe around 2019, and onwards he has been the most active, the main cameraman working with me. You might have seen some of the pictures on my Instagram or Facebook or even the short videos on the channel that he has been working with me, and he's been like my, the main man I can count on. Of course, there have been other video people like Elsa Velamo, who runs also her photographic site. She has helped a lot with the videos at some fun festivals where it's just me and Elsa. Carl Eek of Necrolas Productions from Norway. He has been helping me out in Oslo at the Inferno Festival and in Bergen with Beyond the Gates. For example, last August it was me, Arto, and Carl working as a trio doing these interviews. So great stuff. And even my bandmate Antti has been, the backup guy when Arto or Elsa haven't been around. And so Antti has been taking care of a couple of interviews which would haven't happened if it was just me. So thank you to him as well. Also, a big thank you goes to a list of festivals and events like Steelfest, Steel Chaos, Metalli Helvetis Turku Saatanalle, Nordic Metal Cruise, Tuska Festival, what else I'm thinking? Well, pretty much individual gigs here and there by Metalli Helvetti and so forth. And the people involved doing Steelfest, Nordic Metal Cruise, Turku Saatanalle, etc., they have been helpful, always, putting my names on the list so I get in and help me with the contacts, setting up the interviews and all that stuff. And of course, people at the Inferno and Beyond the Gates festivals, for example, being helpful, once again, helping me with accreditations, helping me setting up the interviews. I would even go as far as to say Clarion at the Hub Hotel in Oslo for, helping us do the interviews at their lounge area. So sometimes big corporations don't get named because they're not the most obvious culprits to do the stuff. But yeah, really, every individual, all the people who have been helping us one way or another. Sometimes it's a security guy like letting you in. Sometimes it's someone bringing you to drinks. Like at Steelfest, people have been so much helping me. Well, here are your coffees, here are your beers, here is this and that, and let's, build a nice area for the interviews and all. I'm rambling here because I'm really thankful to everybody, because if it was only me doing every fucking detail, it would take so much more time, and it would be very, very likely to, burn a man out. So everybody deserves their thanks, and of course I'm hard time remembering each and every individual. And like I said, biggest thanks goes to all the bands being supportive, all the labels and the people behind the labels making all the content possible, meaning interviews wouldn't happen if the bands were not like, hey, let's do it. And all the people who have been, watching the videos, of course, a thank you goes to you as well, because without the audience, what would be the point of doing the content? Now I'm already 13 minutes and more in, and now it's time to do a little bit of looking in the past, what kind of stuff we have created. I say we, even though it's mostly me, because like I said, interviews wouldn't happen without other people. But this daily stuff, what was going on back in the days? It started. So 2017, June was the time. I hope you get to see all this stuff. This has been finished, but you'll probably understand a lot of these things. So June 2017 was the time when things started happening. First of all, that was when the first introduction to Rauta video was kind of a goofy. I was just squatting and explaining the thing in, say, 30 seconds. Not makes much of a sense, but it helps when you have some kind of introduction video to the channel. Now, I really recently, this week, noticed I haven't done one in 5 years. I need to update it, but soon more about that. So that was one of the first videos to come out, and then already we have the first interview caught up in 2017. Good death metal band. Now it seems small. It's only 5,000, considering a lot of bands have way more, which you will soon find out. But yeah, given for the bands and given the starting point, it's not really bad. And of course, here you see the likability, how many people have liked. There are few videos which are, well, not few, but I mean, it's not given that interviews or other videos get like high percentage likes. I guess I'm happy in a way that most of the stuff I have done are around 95% or higher. Interviews tend to be more divided, but I guess it's partially because some people just don't like some of the bands they're saying, not necessarily towards me. Might be towards me, I don't know, but yeah, this seems to be more strong opinions and more divided people are in certain, like, I don't like this content reviews, which would be easy to dislike because they are even more opinion videos by me, don't get so much dislikes. They're more often 100%, which is kind of a weird, but you know, I don't pretend to understand people. And of course, then we had Carpathian Forest already, 2017 and all that stuff. And there are even some hidden videos, like here is this Rauta Welcome video, which was never released in 2017 and onwards. But here you already see some of the difference what I'm talking about. Cut Up interview got like 5,000 and then some views. Carpathian Forest up to this date, 2017. I mean, these were done at the same day. And it's here like 87,000 views. Huge difference, and this is of course one of the most viewed video ever on Rauta. But moving on with the early stuff, I'm just going to show you what it was back in 2017, because a lot of you haven't seen it, a lot of you won't remember it. I don't even know if I have original viewers at all this year. Hard to say for me, but some do remember the early stuff. And back in the days, I thought it was a fun idea when I would get a bunch of parcels, including CDs and whatever for review. I would do these weekly mail things, and I would open and basically show you what I've gotten for review and explain them. I did that for a while because I thought it was kind of a fun idea. They never got too many views, which makes sense. But eventually it started like feeling like it's worth nothing, because basically when I was explaining what I have in the mail, maybe it wouldn't make so much sense. And I stopped doing that. So early on you see these videos being very random in a way. I mean, interviews from the festivals make sense, of course. Then you have the early weekly mails, and then these review videos start taking place. Mind you, there is one good example of very, very negative rating on a video. So 40 like 2 thumbs up and 3 down, 40%. This must be probably one of my lowest. I actually have to see if no, this is not possible to rate it as such. Not that it matters, but it's clearly this must have been a negative one, which I don't even remember, but 40% is one of my lowest ever. I probably was very brutal about this album 2017. I don't remember, but it's funny because what you will see is that most are quite positive, even as high as 75%, like this one, the Reptile Throne of Collapse. Getting 75% is low compared to a lot of years. Anyway, so back to 2017, there were like Enthrone interview from the same event at Steelfest. These were the original ones, the only few ones. Then there was Brujeria from Tuska. 2017, then Baratron from Tuska, and these are quite high numbers, but not even close to the best ones, 30,000, 20,000, and so forth. And as you can see here, a lot of these album reviews, they go around 200 views, which is very low. Like here is like 337 for bands like Solstafir, which is big. And this I remember to be very, very positive review because it was my album of the year. Some people still don't like it. So it's 92% or less. And early on there were random opinion videos which were not that much viewed, but I mean I understand that originally 2017 there were not too many people even following the channel. We're talking about a couple of hundreds maybe. Baptism interview also from Steelfest 2017, already 76,000 views. It's a huge number. And then these early reviews. Look at these numbers. These are ridiculous. 55, 56, 55. So very, very low. And if you move on this list, I'm not going to show you all. It makes no fucking sense. You will see that these are quite low numbers all in all. And these, weekly mail, less than 40 views. Makes really no sense to me, especially when you see these review videos, like here, Lubricants, well, 200. But people can go as far as like look old videos, watch them because they are still relevant. What annoys me in a personal level, this is the only interview ever which got, butterflies in my tummy. Not annoys, but I'm disappointed. Suicidal Tendencies, only less than 4,000 views, and it's the only interview where I met my idol kind of a guy. Make me a little bit nervous. Still proud that I got it done. And here you can also see weekly mails, low scores, not really liked. So maybe that was my guide to figure out there's no point doing that. So all in all, these how many times reviews have been watched haven't really changed that much. Bigger bands get more views. I mean, you will see if I find it all, but like there are these bands which are relatively unknown. They get like 100 or 200 views, whereas all these interviews suddenly they are talking about thousands. Even bands that might not seem fitting Rauta's audience, like Devin Townsend here, also 5,000. But all these reviews mostly around 100 or 200 and whatever, and yeah, that's pretty much the name of the game. Then again, you see bands which are a little bit known, like Paradise Lost here, Medusa 2017, already 2,000 views. And same thing I learned over the years when there were albums like, say, Marduk, for example, suddenly it was like 4,000 views. Whereas these typical ones are indeed what it is. Arch Enemy falls in the middle with 700. So my point here is to just show that this is very, very typical. This still to this day on Rauta channel. If I do a typical review, it's like 100 or 200, even though now it's 20,000 subscriber versus back in the days less than 1,000. And I don't believe that people go for older reviews. Like here, some Calopsia one was released 2017, 50. Probably it was initially watched as many times as it was, and that's about it. And even these old Ask Me Anything videos, not that many times viewed. So clearly tells you a lot about the people, like, there were only few followers, so obviously they were not that much paying, attention to these videos because you see the amount of views. But people can go back to older reviews. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, some people would be now checking out, for example, Gaira's self-titled release now that new album is out, which I have here actually for review too. So sometimes people can go back and say, like, what did he say about that album 5 years ago? But the rest of the stuff, they don't really get old that well. I mean, that is something that is kind of buried with time. Hey, no, this must be the lowest, 25%. People didn't like Demon Eye review. That's good. I mean, sometimes the best thing is when people are really, really like disagreeing about the things. But, whatever it is, yeah, that it is. And it's nice to see these, how these numbers are scaling from interviews to thousands versus reviews. Nothing really much have changed. But I guess a lot of you want to know which is the most viewed content. Some of you know, and now comes the giveaway CD question. Which video on Rauta is currently, I'll give this like a couple of days time to, to figure it out, which is the second most viewed video of all times. Because now I will show it to you, and those who are fast will get the chance to win it. Obviously, Satanic Warmaster, clearly the winner with 177,000 views throughout the videos, and even though it's been blurred. And this came out early 2018 when they played at Turku Saatanalle. To my surprise, Ansagraum interview is indeed at the second spot with 93,000, which is surprising considering that when this interview was done, they had like one album out. Mind you, this was at Steelfest 2018. And also to my surprise, 2018 interview with Plagialis, only one album out, is on the third spot with another 92,000. This is weird comparing to what you will see later on when we roll down the list. Carpathian Forest, a lot bigger band, 87,000. So good number. This is already 2017. And then we have Meshuggah with 78,000. This went into the news back in the days, went viral when, certain news sites started, reporting that, hey, in this interview you will find out how they decided to do Gent. That is a humorous question with a humorous answer, but yeah. What is also worth mentioning is curious. Look at the length of these interviews back in the days. 10 minutes, 13 minutes, 12 minutes, 10 minutes, 14 minutes. Things started to change a little bit later, like already with the first Arch Code from 2018. This was the first one by Rauta, by the way. 30 minutes. This was done outdoors and suffered from sound quality problems which we couldn't tackle back in the days. And then later on, Marduk from 2019, almost 30 minutes. Nargoroth, almost 30 minutes. And these are really high scores still, 60,000. And suddenly there is a video which is not an interview, my take on NSBM from year 2020. 61,000 videos. This totally surprised me because I was expecting always it's going to be interviews and interviews and interviews. Like it is in most cases. Talke from 2019, the first time, 50,000 and plus. Celtic Frost, 50,000. Azazel interview, 50,000. These are cult acts which, have history, so it makes sense. And Blasphemy, this is really surprising. This is 2024 interview and still almost 50,000. Then another, this is a humorous video from 2018 when Jesus Crew decided to hang out. It's at Turku Saatanla Fest, also 42 videos. But other than that, it's almost mostly interviews, like Morty's one here. Suddenly, my thoughts about Lord of Chaos movie made high here. I don't know why. I was expecting maybe 1,000 views and that's it. Then we have Inquisition, Barathrum, Dark Funeral. Then talking about, Burzum's Thulan perspectives, Buried interview, Mayhem interview, Brujeria, Batain, Horna, Mysticum, Tudor, Primordial, Wolves at the Throne Room. You see the numbers going down quite fast, actually. There's a big difference whether one is 90,000, 20,000, but still. Sargeist, Inquisition Part 2, Azakal, another Carpathian Forest, Aklus, all more than 20,000, so quite happy with that. But suddenly, bigger bands like Emperor, 60,000, Saturican, 16,000. Not bad, but I mean, kind of surprising considering the size. And suddenly my critic about Saturican's past, 2017, is among the interviews. Or my take on Talke's, cancelled tour in 2018 in the United States, among the interviews. Like next to Timo Borger interview. So it's weird. But then you have a lot more interviews like Meth, Horace, Moonsorrow, Zemi, Al, Blood, Incantation, Nut and Slaughter, JP Ahonen. This is surprisingly big considering he's not exactly a big band. Belzer, original Morgal interview, which is hidden for the reason the band asked that. I have a new one coming. Hallatar Creator, Evangelist, and so forth. So as you can see, most of the stuff here is which you like is our interviews. Talke, a new Arch Code from this year, Nightwish, Ride for Revenge, etc., etc. So sometimes these views, how they are compared to, say, popularity in terms of the band being big or not, don't go hand in hand. Like Blood Chalice is a good example. Back in the days, only one album out, still relatively small, and it's among top 3 when it comes to how many times it's viewed. So you might have bigger bands like Ancient or whatever here coming down. And talking about the reviews, which are viewed very much compared to the usual stuff. Look at this Marduk one, 7,000, which is weird compared to lots of those reviews, which are like 200 or so. Also, Umqua, and between them, White Death. These are just pointing out certain kind of unexpected things that interviews obviously are the most interesting content for me and of course for the audience. But sometimes there are these videos which just pop up and go viral and I don't really know why. Now if you're thinking about it like which videos have which amount of stuff, now the list can be a little bit different. And I've created this playlist for you to check out how much content there really is. Now, original Finnish Black Metal series is very new, only 2 videos. Record collection so far gone, only 3 letters or 3. But retrospective, it's raising small numbers, 14. And about Norwegian Black Metal, I made 25 videos, short ones. They're just not kind of worth mentioning. And then there's these random ones like Gadgets, TV, whatever. Not really the thing here. But for example, if we take a look at these album reviews, well, you see that it's over 2,000, quite a bit. Interviews over 200. Then there's some few beer reviews, a few hundred opinion videos, a few AMA or Ask Me Anything videos, classic reviews, some best of videos, book reviews including zines and all that stuff. And of course reports or recaps of festivals and all that stuff. So it's quite varied in the end and how it is. And if you want to know how many times the channel has been watched now, the different videos, over 5 million. So 20,000 subscribers, almost 3,000 videos and over 4 million views. I think that's quite a nice amount of things happening. Now, sometimes people are, you should deserve more. There should be more, subscribers or more comments or more likes and blah, blah, blah. To be honest, I don't really care about them so much. Why? This is not my day job and it's not supposed to be that. It's not supposed to be bringing money on the table. That's why I have a good day job, so that I can have a nice hobby like this. Because if I was thinking about the numbers, like money and all, how it would go, I would start sacrificing my own ideas and values and whatever just in order to make this more worthwhile, like how I can make more money with Rauta. That would fucking ruin it. It's almost like if a band was just after, success and money and fame, they would figure out, well, maybe I don't want to play black metal because black metal is not selling that much. Maybe I should do, rock pop music. And there you have it. So, okay, 30 minutes and plus all over the video. I'm rambling here. But I kind of wanted to show how things are and all that stuff. And like I said, those who really were paying attention, there's this surprise album as giveaway for the first right answer. Now, to foresee the future, 2025 and beyond, there will be some smaller changes, meaning there will be more underground trio videos, more less known bands lumped into one, because in terms of numbers, it doesn't make any sense that I will give each and every album its own video. First of all, review albums all the time, videos I'm putting out, that if I would give queue won't be growing all the time. It was over 300 at some point. Now it's less than 100, and I'm thankful for that because I don't want to keep people waiting, but unfortunately that happens with the amount of reviews. And of course, when the channel is growing up, getting more attraction, more people, more views, more subscribers, the more I will be sent with stuff. And I already get a lot of emails about, can you review this? Here's my latest music video. Please react to it. I don't do reaction videos here. I don't think I ever will. Who knows? But not likely because I don't really like them. But I like to talk about new music. I like to do interviews, and like if I got to choose, I would do an interview every week. Unfortunately, Rauta is too small for that because traveling to festivals and events cost money, and that's where money comes into play. So why I don't like to bitch about money, unfortunately, it's mandatory evil because traveling costs money. Hotels, the actual flights or drives or whatever, and So that's the reason why I can't do interviews every week unless I go back to doing Zoom interviews like during the COVID years, which you might remember Beheaded and some other bands were only done over Zoom because meeting people face to face was just not possible. It was not happening. We were living in a lockdown and no festivals, no gigs were taking place. So face to face ones were impossible. But I don't want to go back there. I think that really lacks something when we're talking over screen rather than face to face and, being in the same space and getting the body language, tone of voice, blah, blah, blah. Very different ways than just over the screens. But I don't want to ramble more. What I can say about the future is, because that's something that I often ask about the bands, like what will be in the future and all, is that year 2025, small changes will start rolling in. Mostly it means putting indeed more of these underground trio videos. I hope to bring more interviews. I most likely will try out some new ideas for the channel, but mostly things are not changing. There are some experiments which I will probably going to do, which I have already done over the years, but some things are so small details, most people don't even realize it's there. And if I don't see any comment or feedback about it, then I know to react accordingly. And giveaways will happen as usual on the streams, which I plan to keep once a month. Short videos will take place at events, at festivals where I can, get short videos from interviews and do some random Martti videos, which some people dislike, some people like. It's fine. And I don't really know what else to say. So far, year 2025 is totally like unseen territory. I don't even know which festivals we're going to attend to and all that stuff. So who knows how it's going to be. But I will talk about these in the streams, and once I have finally some real announcements to make, maybe there will be a real video, and I will also update the introduction to the channel video with relevant information like what to do in order to get a review, what in order to do an interview, blah, blah, blah. Let's see about that later on. It's not part of this stuff. But I want to still say thank you for everybody who have been following the channel, even if it's single video and all that stuff. So once again, thank you, and keep your ears and eyes tuned for more Rauta content. Just watch the videos you feel necessary, interesting, entertaining, or whatever, and don't sweat about it. And of course, Rauta's Discord is always there for daily chat. You will see the invite link in any of the video descriptions. So click and join if you want to have online discussions. And of course, follow on Rauta on Facebook for updates, as well as my Instagram is there for random pictures and also Rauta related stuff. And if you're using Threads, you can find me there as well, doing almost daily comments on music and whatever. And should you have suggestions or recommendations for the channel, how to improve it or create certain comment or content, you can always ask me or suggest, recommend me what to do and what not to do. Sometimes people, for instance, ask me, can you review this and that? Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Very simple. But off you go. And like I said, thank you for your time and thank you for all your feedback. Now, see you soon with less lengthy video than this. Off you go. Stay metal. Boom.